Hey guys, so I just thought I'd check in. I am now 8 days post the procedure. So just over a week. Back in Australia, which is great. Beautiful, sunny Australia. And as you can see, healing up really, really well. I had my first proper shampoo and wash with the little pack that you get post-surgery. There's a little sort of cleanser in there that you leave on your head for about 20 minutes. Rinse off, and then you use this foam shampoo. Both of those were given to me free of charge. And yeah, as you can see, that's gotten rid of most of the little scabs that you sort of get after the procedure. A couple of little pimples, and obviously you can just see like a little spicks and specks here and there, but not a whole lot to give away that I've had a hair transplant. I did go today and get a little skin fade on the sides and back just to sort of make it look, I think, a little bit less obvious. But one thing I really wanted to show you guys, and I'll try and do this on my own, is the back of my head. So hopefully you can see that. Something that's really, really important to me in particular is that the scarring at the back of the head is an absolute minimum. I felt that after my first transplant, which again I mentioned was done in Italy, look, and nothing against the clinic that did that, but I definitely feel it wasn't quite as delicate, and I feel like the scarring was just a bit more than I expected. And I've since done a bit of research and realized that a lot of it comes down to the size of the extraction tool that they use that they use to take out the hairs. Think of it as like essentially a cannula. So it's like a needle that's a little bit thick, and it just stabs around the hair follicle and pulls out. And obviously the bigger that hole, the bigger the scar, but also the more chance of transecting other grafts as well and damaging other hair follicles. And I think that's a really, really big benefit of the clinic in Turkey. They use the sapphire FUE method. And look, a lot of that stuff, there's a fair bit out there saying that it's all just different ways of essentially doing the same thing. So, you've got DHI and all these other things now. And it's true, the base, I guess, science behind it is just the FUE method. So the sapphire method just uses a slightly thinner blade, which realistically, one of the biggest benefits is actually around the scarring at the back of the head, because it's a smaller hole, smaller incision, and smaller hole means smaller scar. So yeah, after 8 days, hopefully I'll check at it when I go to post this. Hopefully I've got a decent shot of the back of my head. But after 8 days, you really can't see much sign of there being, 900, 1,000 little follicles removed. So overall, really, really happy with the result on top. Really, really, really happy with the result at the back of my head. I'm the sort of person that is always going to get not quite this short, but probably, ones, 1.5s faded up on the side and back. So that's something that really has always worried me. It's one thing for people to be able to tell that you've had a hair transplant from the front, but something we don't think about is also, that donor area, if it's not grafted properly, or if they use a needle or a method that's going to leave big scars, it can be obvious too. So yeah, overall, really, really happy with it. Just now have to wait until the hair grows back. And as you guys know, there's a shedding period, where the hairs fall out and probably looks a little bit worse than when you began. And then, 6 months to a year is when your nice thick new hairs come out. You get to see the final results. So I'll keep track of it. I'll keep posting, follow along, and see if I end up as happy as I am now.